World War II created no shortage of Allied heroes, people who did unbelievable things to help defeat the Nazis. But one U.S. officer's black op is so extraordinary, the government kept it secret for over 60 years.
At the height of World War II, the Brenner Pass is a vital supply route in Europe. It's a 77-mile-long railway line that carves through the Italian Alps.
Over 24,000 tons of material per day comes across Brenner Pass, absolutely critical for maintaining a German force presence in Italy.
The Allies try again and again to bomb key railway bridges and tunnels to shut down the pass. But every time they get close, the planes face a torrent of anti-aircraft fire, making this an incredibly costly mission.
The enemy trains thunder on until one man proposes a different solution.
Roderick Steve Hall is a U.S. Army officer in the 270th Engineer Combat Battalion.
He has a unique knowledge of the Brenner Pass that no one else in American uniform does. Hall spent the 1930s exploring the Italian Alps, skiing ravines, climbing glaciers, and mapping out trails that even locals didn't know about.
Hall believes his unique knowledge of the Brenner could help the Allies.
Hall writes to the OSS, who are the predecessor of the CIA, and makes a bold pitch. He will parachute in and take out the bridges that keep the Germans supplied in Italy.
The OSS is initially reluctant to accept because they have no means of extracting him. He then offers the checkmate of all, which is that, well, if you drop me in, you don't have to extract me. I can live in hiding until the war's over.
It's this promise that convinces the OSS to back his plan.
The mission is codenamed Operation Mercury. And his first target near the Brenner Pass, a key railway bridge near Tolmezzo. Things get off to a rocky start.
On August 2nd, 1944, Hall and his team board a Halifax bomber bound for northern Italy. Due to the heavily defended airspace around Brenner Pass, the plane is only able to get within 85 miles of the target bridge.
Hall and his men have to cross one of the most rugged, heavily patrolled terrains in Western Europe on foot, with limited supplies and no room for error.
Hall's bad luck doesn't end there.
When Hall jumps, his parachute lines get twisted, sending him into a death roll. He fights to untangle them, and at the last second, they snap free.
Hall survives and finds his comrades. Stranded deep in northern Italy, with no way back, they push forward on foot. After a brutal trek of nearly 100 miles, Hall and his team finally reach their first target.
Hall scouts the bridge for weak points, and the team packs in 150 pounds of dynamite plus 25 pounds of plastique, wiring it all to the load-bearing columns for maximum devastation.
At 1:30 a.m., Hall triggers the explosion. Stone, steel, and wood go flying in every direction, and Hall and his team disappear into the night.
In a matter of seconds, a vital German supply route is wiped out. But Hall isn't finished. There are more bridges on the list. And after that blast, he's now got every Nazi in the area on his tail.
German troops begin hunting them. They're burning villages trying to find this team.
Hall stays one step ahead, relentless in his mission. Over 6 months, the team destroyed 5 more bridges and cut off 3 Nazi supply routes. Now, another threat closes in: the deadly Alpine winter.
By January 1945, Hall has been living outdoors for months. Temperatures are regularly dropping below freezing, and Hall now has frostbite on his feet.
His comrades are telling him that he needs to rest, he needs to recover from his exhaustion, but he just won't stop.
Hall straps on his skis and heads off to the next target. This time, he doesn't return.
He's captured, tortured during interrogation, and dies in captivity.
For over 60 years, Hall's remarkable story stays buried. Then, in 2008, OSS historian Patrick K. O'Donnell unearths it from a cache of newly declassified files. He hunts down Hall's surviving comrades and, piece by piece, rebuilds the story of Roderick Steve Hall, an unknown hero whose valor and sacrifice is finally revealed. The Cold War's biggest booby trap isn't hidden in a suitcase or duffel bag. It's buried in a few lines of stolen software. And when it goes off, it triggers a devastating explosion.
In the 1980s, the US is the world leader in technology. From advanced computers to cutting-edge software, no other nation comes close.
The Soviets have been struggling for years to keep up with United States technology developments. And the solution that they come up with is espionage. They're stealing Western tech on a scale that is massive.
This dependence on stolen tech has left them lagging behind. And now the Soviets are missing some key software to build a major gas pipeline.
The new pipeline is desperately needed because falling oil prices has wiped out the Soviets' main source of income. So they really need to develop new sources of revenue.
The Soviet economy is very reliant on oil and gas, but prices have been dropping over their very high levels from the 1970s. And at the same time, the Soviets are running out of new sources of oil and gas. So they're looking for, like, where can we find more? Where is there natural gas that we haven't tapped yet?
The Soviets decide to build a 3,000-mile-long pipeline to bring natural gas from Siberia to Czechoslovakia.
The export of this gas is extraordinarily important to Moscow. It may be worth upwards of $30 billion to them, and that's US dollars. That's hard currency.
The Soviets need special software to run the pipeline's pumping stations. Without it, the system fails. And of course, it's technology that they don't have.
So naturally, they look to the US and a plan to steal it. What they don't realize is that this mission has been leaked to the White House.
Newly elected President Ronald Reagan is handed an intelligence report that's coming from a recent Soviet defector. The report is 4,000 pages long, and it starts to detail this Soviet operation targeting U.S. technology.
Known as the Farewell Dossier, the report even includes a list of U.S. technologies the Soviets still need, including the gas pipeline software. Reagan's first instinct is to expose the whole operation, but one advisor sees an opportunity.
Gus Weiss is a national security advisor. He's worked with 4 presidents, as well as the CIA and NASA, and his specialty is strategic deception. Instead of shutting down the flow of stolen secrets, what if the US turned the tables on the Soviets and fed them doctored software that could wreak havoc?
It's the perfect booby trap. One stolen program could sabotage the entire gas pipeline. So Reagan uses the Farewell Dossier to set the plan in motion.
The dossier reveals that the Soviets plan to steal the software from a single company in Canada.
With help from Canadian intelligence, the US is able to plant bugs in the pipeline software before the Soviets steal it.
The Soviets install the code, unaware it's been doctored.
Over time, it slowly corrupts the pressure controls of the pipeline, causing havoc.
What happens next is still fiercely debated.
In June of 1982, a section of the Siberian pipeline explodes in a massive ball of flames.
Millions of dollars worth of Soviet infrastructure is destroyed in an instant.
The truth stays hidden for more than a decade. Until 2004, when former U.S. Air Force Secretary Thomas C. Reed makes an explosive claim in his memoir. Reed alleges the CIA weaponized stolen Soviet software, lines of code, the stuff of spreadsheets and keyboards, triggering a fireball visible from space.